Hello and welcome once again. In this video, we are going to discuss association and chi-square related to paper 2009 statistics 2. And first of all, we will discuss about the extensive question. After that, we will focus on short questions related to association and chi-square, and finally, we will discuss about the MCQs discussed in the paper or video. So extensive question is the given the following contingency table of hair color and eye color. There are three different categories of eye color and there are three different categories of hair color. So there are 3 rows and 3 columns. Test the hypothesis at 5% level of significance. जो alpha जो है वो होगा जी 0.05, that there is no association between hair and eye color, and tabulated value of chi-square is already given in the question, 9.49, and at 0.054 degree of freedom we can check this that it should be 9.49. Degree of freedom we already discussed in previous videos, that how can we calculate degree of freedom, row minus 1 multiplied by column minus 1. So rows, there are 3 rows and 3 columns, so 2 multiplied by 2 equals to 4. So 4 degree of freedom at 0.05 level of significance, 9.488, approximately 9.49. सो फर्स्ट स्टेप टू टेक द हाइपोथेसिस, पहले भी मैं बहुत दफ़ा आपको बता चुका हूँ कि दोनों एट्रीब्यूट्स के अंदर नल हाइपोथेसिस में आपने अज्यूम करना है दैट देयर इज़ नो एसोसिएशन बिटवीन दीज टू डिफरेंट आई कलर एंड हेयर कलर. सो हियर वन मिस्टेक दैट आई कलर एंड हेयर कलर. So these are two attributes, eye color and hair color. Okay, now question is ready to discuss further. So first step is to take null hypothesis. In null hypothesis, we will assume that there is no association between these two attributes. And in alternative hypothesis, we will assume that there is association between these two attributes, eye color and hair color. The next step is to take the level of significance, that is alpha equals to 0.05. Third step is to write down the statistic or formula of chi-square, which is equals to sum of observed frequencies minus expected frequency square divided by expected frequency. Fourth step is to calculate the expected frequencies. So that is the main step in this question, because observed frequencies are given in the question. In each and every question, observed frequencies are also given. So expected frequencies, how can we calculate expected frequencies? First of all, we should take the total of rows and columns. So 15 plus 5 plus 20 equals to 40, 20 plus 10 plus 20 equals to 50, 25 plus 15 plus 20 equals to 60. And in the same way, we can calculate the total of columns. 15 plus 20 plus 25 equals to 60, 5 plus 10 plus 15 equals to 30, 20 plus 20 plus 20 equals to 60, and finally we will calculate the subtotal, that is 150. Either you can calculate through the summing of all totals of rows, or you can calculate through the summing of totals of columns. The next step is to calculate the expected frequencies. So for 15 observed frequency, we will calculate the expected frequency through formula, and the formula is row total 40 multiplied by column total in which 15 is located. So 40 multiplied by 60 divided by 150 equals to 16. For 5, expected frequency should be equals to 40 multiplied by 30 divided by 150 equals to 8. For observed frequency 20, expected frequency will be equals to 40 multiplied by 60 divided by 150, 16. And in the same way, you can calculate remaining 6 expected frequencies. For example, for 20, expected frequency will be equals to 50 multiplied by 60 divided by 150. For 10, expected frequency will be equals to 50 multiplied by 30 divided by 150 and so on. So in this way you can calculate all these expected frequencies. If you calculate the total, it's okay. If you do not calculate the total of expected frequency, it will also be okay, because we have no need of total of expected frequencies. We just calculate total here in the main table because of the calculation of expected frequencies. So after getting the expected frequency, now we come to the final calculation of chi-square. So first of all, we take the values of observed frequencies 15, 5, 20, 20, 10, 20, 25, 15, 20, and we will place all these values here, and in front of each observed frequency we will place expected frequency 16, 8, 16, 20, 10, 20, 24, 12 and 24, and we place here all the expected frequencies. Next step, first of all we just subtract 15 minus 16, 5 minus 8, 20 minus 16 and so on, and after that we just take the square. 1 square minus 1 square equals to 1, minus 3 squares equals to 9, 4 square equals to 16 and so on. And finally we just divide this column with this column. So 1 divided by 16, 9 divided by 8, 16 divided by 16, 0 divided by 20 and so on. And finally we take the sum of all these values, and that is your calculated chi-square. After that, in step number 6, we calculate critical region. Critical region is already discussed at the start of the video. The value is 9.49 and it is also given in the question. If it is not given in the question, you can calculate through the table of chi-square. At 4 degree of freedom 0.05 value will be equals to 9.488, or you can say 9.49. And what is the critical region? If your calculated answer is equals to or less than this tabulated value, you are in acceptance region and you will accept null hypothesis. And if your calculated value is greater than this 9.49, which is 9.49, then you are in rejection region, and in this case your calculated value is 3.646, which is less than this tabulated value. So you will accept your null hypothesis because your calculated value falls in acceptance region, and you will reject your alternative hypothesis. So the calculated value of chi-square 3.646 is less than the tabulated value of chi-square 9.49, or you can say that 3.646 falls in the acceptance region. We accept the null hypothesis that there is no association between eye color and hair color. After that, second part of this video is related to the short questions of this paper. A short question is that if A equals to 240 B equals to 270, N equals to 600. What would be the number of AB if A and B are independent? So first of all, I think in paper of 2007, I already discussed these three conditions, that in the case of independent association or independence of association, AB is always equals to A multiplied by B divided by N. So if A and B are independent, then condition will be this. And in this case, if these A and B are independent, then this one should be equals to this one. So A equals to 240, B equals to 270, and N equals to 600, which is equals to 108. So 108 should be equals to AB. So these are three very important conditions of association, that if AB is equals to this one, A multiplied by B by N, which means that two attributes are independent to each other. They have no association between these two. And if it is less than this one, so which shows that negative association, and if these are greater than this one, it means that there is positive association. Third part of this video is related to MCQs. So which is the value of coefficient of association when two attributes A and B have perfectly positive association? परफेक्टली पॉजिटिव एसोसिएशन, अगर आपने कोरिलेशन को देखा हो तो उसके अंदर +1 हमेशा परफेक्टली पॉजिटिव एसोसिएशन को शो करता है, और -1 हमेशा परफेक्टली नेगेटिव एसोसिएशन को शो करता है. 0 मीन्स दैट देयर इज़ नो एसोसिएशन बिटवीन द एट्रीब्यूट्स. सो which is the value of coefficient of association when two attributes A and B have perfectly positive association? Then answer should be +1. So +1 is your correct answer. Here coefficient of association के बारे में हम कुछ बात करते चलें कि coefficient of association is always denoted by Q, and it is equals to AB multiply by alpha beta minus A beta multiply by alpha B, and just change the sign here, place plus instead of minus. So that is equals to coefficient of association. As you know that we can calculate this association through chi-square, but in 2 multiplied by 2 contingency table, we can also calculate association through this method, and that is coefficient of association. यहाँ पे 2 multiplied by 2 contingency का क्या मतलब है? इसका मतलब है कि that there are two attributes and each attribute have further two categories. For example, अगर आप यहाँ पे देखें that there are three attributes. There are two attributes and each attribute has three different categories. But what you can say that if there are two attributes and there are only two categories for each attribute, then you can calculate this association through coefficient of association. So one attribute which has further two subcategories, one will be denoted by A and other will be denoted by alpha, and second attribute which has further two categories, one should be B and other should be beta. For example, if one category is employment, so what are the two different attributes of employment? Employed persons and unemployed persons. So employed persons are denoted by A and unemployed persons are denoted by alpha. and other one attribute, if literacy, then literacy have two further categories. One is literate persons and other one is illiterate persons. So literate persons should be represented by B and illiterate persons should be represented by beta. And all these symbols we can make by ourselves. For example, what should be here? A column and B row. So here we can place AB. Here alpha column and B row. So here we can place alpha B. Here A column and beta row. So answer will be A beta. And here alpha column and beta row, so here we can place alpha beta. And in front of total, what is the row is B, so total is B. Row is beta, total is beta. Here column is A, so total is A. Here column is alpha, so column total should be alpha. And here that is the place of subtotal, which is n, capital N or lowercase n. So this is all about coefficient of association. So in the next video we will discuss some more questions related to association and chi-square. Till then, take care of yourself and other persons around you. Thank you.